The story of Attrell Toyota begins in 1964. After 5 years of service as a technician, Bob Attrell Sr. decided he wanted to open his own shop. He moved to the west side of Toronto and bought a property at 335 Perth Avenue. The property had a house and shop behind it where he operated Attrell's Auto Repair, a successful business from 1964 to 1969. Despite the success of Attrell's Auto Repair, Bob's dream was to own a dealership.
Well, he was very good friends with Bob Griffith, and he and Bob Griffith ice raced together. Bob Griffith had a friend who worked for Toyota Canada. He said, they are looking for a service sales manager at Toyota. Why don't you go and apply?
His job was to travel all around southern Ontario, servicing dealers' needs for warranty and mechanical issues on Toyota vehicles. 3 years later, in 1972, Bob was promoted to the sales department and consistently visited the dealers looking for an opportunity to buy into a dealership. In the fall of 1974, Bob's dreams came true as he made a deal to purchase Guild Toyota from Norm Guild. The business was split over 2 locations, the repair shop on Selby Avenue and on Highway 10 a trailer for the sales location. Bob quickly found the 2 locations to be poor for business, and in 1978 he consolidated the business to 250 Queen Street West, where it ran much more successfully. In 1980, Bob's eldest son John joined the sales team full-time, after previously working in the shop part-time washing cars. Following John's arrival in 1982, Bob's second son David joined as junior technician. Throughout the years, Bob never gave up his great passion for racing. He participated in road, off-road, and ice racing, winning many races and championships. On top of driving the cars, Bob was also the mastermind who built and maintained his racing vehicles. Soon after moving to 250 Queen Street West, Bob and his team quickly outgrew the space.
It was really about a 1.5 car showroom. You could squeeze 2 cars in there, and yeah, it left something to be desired, but it was a starting point.
In the spring of 1982, Bob orchestrated a deal to purchase and move Guild Toyota to the Karking Marina building at 243 Queen Street East. Following their move, the sales manager position was vacated, and Bob selected John for the position. Also in 1982, Bob was very proud to become the first president of the Canadian Association of Japanese Automobile Dealers, or CAJAD. Bob began CAJAD in an effort to lobby the government of Canada, in a time where it was very difficult for Japanese dealers to operate within Canada.
There were huge import restrictions. There was a tariff. There was a big tariff. So they were too expensive to fully compete in this market. And he had that lifted. The federal ministers threatened to throw him in jail.
In 1986, Bob and his team were successful at lifting the import restrictions and forever changing the automotive landscape for Japanese dealers here in Canada. 1987 would bring a whole new world for Japanese dealers because they finally had enough vehicles to meet consumer demand. 1987 would not only bring a whole new world for Japanese dealers, but would also be a groundbreaking year for Bob and his team at the Toyota dealership. The year began at 243 Queen Street East, where their 90 by 350-foot building was bursting at the seams. Quick to react, Bob made a brilliant move, tripling their property size by purchasing the old Consumers Gas building 2 doors down at 247 Queen Street East. In the spring of 1988, they would move locations and change the name from Guild Toyota to Attrell Toyota. At the grand opening, a huge honor was bestowed on Bob, as Dr. E.G. Toyota, the son of Toyota's founder and then CEO of Toyota Motor Corp, came from Japan to thank Bob for all of his hard work and to join in the celebration. Also, as thanks from the Japanese for lifting the import restrictions, Bob and the Attrell team received an unrestricted amount of inventory, and immediately sales increased from 300 new cars to 550 new in 1 year. In 1988, Bob's third son, Bob Jr., joined full-time in sales after studying at the University of Windsor. Following 6 months in sales, Bob Jr. was promoted to business manager and held that position until 1990, when he went into partnership with his father and purchased a Hyundai franchise. In 1990, Bob Sr. became president of the Toronto Auto Dealers Association, or the TADA. This was a great honor for Bob, as he worked diligently through many executive committees. In 1993, after 11 years as a technician, David was promoted to service manager. In 1996, after 13 years as sales manager, John went into partnership with his father and became part owner and general manager. In 1997, Bob Sr. continued to show great vision as he purchased 9.2 acres of future Auto Mall property. 5 years after purchasing land in the Auto Mall, plans would begin to move Attrell Toyota to the middle 3 acres of the property. On January 25, 2005, with the help of many dedicated staff who sacrificed their weekend, Attrell Toyota opened on a snowy Saturday. In June of 2006, Attrell Hyundai made their move to the Auto Mall, and Bob Jr. purchased the balance of the dealership from his father to become the sole owner. From 2006 to 2008, sales were great. At the end of 2008 and into 2009, there was a huge economic downturn and worldwide recession, causing ripple effects in sales to decline. Late in 2008, a very proud moment for the Attrell family was when Bob Jr. was voted in as TADA president. This historic event created one of the only father and son combinations to ever lead the TADA. In September 2009, the third generation of Attrells, John's son Phil, joined the dealership in sales after receiving his degree in automotive management from Georgian College. At the same time, Phil's brother-in-law Daryl Merritt joined in sales after receiving his degree in automotive management from Northwood University. Following the economic challenges of 2009, Toyota ran into issues of their own and began the recall wars. This was a very challenging time for sales and service. Finally, after much documentation and research, the initial claims against Toyota's quality turned out to be nothing more than a bunch of hype. In September of 2010, Bob Attrell Sr. passed away at the age of 70 after a long battle with cancer. In a show of respect and great loss in the family, the dealership was closed the day of the funeral. In the fall of 2010, Attrell Toyota was selected as one of 45 Toyota dealers to receive a Scion franchise due to sales success and high customer satisfaction scores. This brand had promised to bring youth, driving fun, and a simplified sales process back into Toyota stores. Moving to 2011, Attrell Toyota Scion began to experience sales recovery, and Phil Attrell was promoted from sales consultant to sales manager. Then in March of 2011, a devastating tsunami hit Japan, resulting in a great loss of life and a dramatic reduction in sales. For 6 months following this disaster, Toyota's inventory around the world was reduced by 40 to 50% before it slowly started to recover. In June of 2012, John's second son Joel joined the dealership full-time as a parts advisor and junior IT administrator, following his graduation from Humber College. Throughout the years, community involvement has always been an important part of the Attrell story.
My father, Bob Attrell Sr., had been working very hard with a missionary friend of his, Larry Clement, to help him get a Land Cruiser. And it was difficult because it was the first FJ40 diesel in Canada. So he had to pull some strings, but he was able to get it. He customized the vehicle with a special roof rack, had a specialized trailer built to haul diesel fuel right across the country. It's one of the things that reminds me we don't just work for profit, but we work to reach out and to help the world.
Many team members of the dealership raised thousands of dollars and participated in the coldest night of the year walk in support of Brampton's regeneration to aid and support those who are homeless.
The Lord had blessed him financially, and so he started to do a lot of things financially to help the work of the Lord.
Throughout the years, Attrell has supported many other organizations from the Boy Scouts to the Salvation Army, sponsoring many different sports teams, faith organizations, and Youth Unlimited, just to name a few. The Attrells have always done their best to treat others the way they would want to be treated and act with integrity, honesty, and hard work.
What I do is try to look at this as a Christ-centered business and use it not just giving gifts and monies to reach out to individuals and support them, but to reach out and show people love, social justice, and care about them.
It's really about going to somewhere where you care about the people because you spend a lot of time with them.
It's about having relationships with people. I get great joy in seeing the satisfaction in people's face when they say, you know, thank you very much for your advice, or thank you for helping me in this situation, and that's, you know, that's what this business is all about.
I think it's a unique store to work at because, number one, it's family run. I'm sort of treated like family. We kind of have listened to the employee style management.
All in all, it's like a family. Thank God, not my family, but it's like a family, and I think the customers really pick up on that and want to be a part of that. They want to continue coming back.
2013 would be a record year for Attrell Toyota Scion in both the sales and service departments. As a result of selling over 1,200 new and 700 used vehicles, 2014 would mark the first time in Attrell's history that they would receive the prestigious Category 1 designation by Toyota Canada, reserved for only a select few of top-performing dealerships across Canada.
I think we've made it to the top now. I think we can definitely say we're one of the big boys. You know, we can compete with the GM and Ford. We're not just the little guy trying to crawl our way up to the top anymore.
As growth continues into the future, Attrell will surely be faced with new challenges of how to better serve their guests, and as history has shown, Attrell Toyota Scion is more than up for the challenge.